Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us. My name is Laura Vermilya. I'm the controller here at the Ohio High School Athletic Association. Joining us today is our Chief Operating Officer, Dr. Kim Kiehl, our Senior Accountant Laura Lemanski, who put all our slides together that you'll be viewing today, and our moderator, Ron Sayers. So again, thank you. I know this is a very busy time for schools as the year has wrapped up. I know it's been a very rough year and a very unprecedented year. And we want to thank our members for all the work that they've done to help bring sports to Ohio student athletes and all the work that they've put in for our tournaments. We truly could not have done this without you, and we really appreciate all your hard efforts and hard work. And for today's presentation, we're going to share with you our fall and winter sport financials. These are just the tournament results, both at the district level and at regional and state. You all are currently muted, but there is a question chat box that you may ask any questions throughout the presentation, and Ron will help moderate those as we go along. So let's begin. So for the fall 2020, here are the financials by sport. The sports are along the left-hand column, and then we are showing attendance, our ticket revenues, other revenues, which are typically media, program sales, and then our total expenses for those sports. Now, this is at accumulated level, so all tournament levels, sectionals, districts, regional, and state have been accumulated in this view. And then the profit and loss. So football, probably not surprisingly, is one of our most profitable sports and also highest attended. We had 288,622 attendees. If you recall, or for those unfamiliar, the football format this year was different as far as we've done in prior years. We let all teams participate in a playoff qualifier. And so we had many, many more games than we traditionally do, but attendance was much, much lower as we were still under COVID restrictions throughout the fall and winter seasons. So the profit for football was 1.6 million. The next most profitable sport was soccer. And just to reiterate, all these sports were impacted by COVID restrictions and attendee restrictions. Attendance at soccer, and this is boys and girls soccer combined, 155,751. Total ticket revenue, $1,250,000. Expenses of 925 and a profit of 334. Cross country, again, boys and girls, was our next most profitable sport. Attendance was 44,881. Ticket revenue 357. Other revenue 41,966. That also includes tournament entry fees. And then total expenses 295 for a profit of 104,167. Volleyball, 85,000 in attendance, 661 in ticket revenue. Other total expenses 578 and a profit of 89,831. Field hockey, attendance just over 4,000, ticket revenue 35,000, expenses 27,000, and profit 7,953. Golf, again, this is boys and girls golf. 7,699 in attendance, 107 in ticket revenue, expenses 134, and just a small loss of 1,573. And then girls tennis, 8,226 in attendance, 51,000 in ticket revenue, Total expense $69,574 for a loss of $10,630. So all in for the fall season, total attendance was just over 600,000 at 604,436. Ticket revenue $5,893,000. Other revenue $197,000. Total expenses $3,916,848 for a profit in fall, mainly from football, of $2,174,117. As we break this down by district and sectional tournaments versus the regional and state tournaments, you can see the districts are down the side and the sports are across the top. So all of the football resides here at the regional state level. And this is just the profit or loss. So the same number, so 1649909 in the football column agrees back to football on the prior slide of 1649909. So basically we're breaking down for you by the district and regional the profitability of each of these sports. Soccer was profitable at all districts. If you look at the third column there, second column of numbers. Volleyball, profitable in many districts and also at the regional and state level. Same for cross country. Golf and tennis varied. And again, a lot of that is attendance driven. Because we were under COVID restrictions, we could not have the amount of attendance that we typically had. And then the field hockey's at the regional state level. So the district total shows you in the fall season how each district performed for that season, all sports combined. So I'm going to pause there and see if we have any questions on the fall season.
We don't currently have any questions on specifically the fall season. I did have one question come in, but we'll wait till the end as it covers most everything.
Okay. So we'll move into winter. The winter sports, boys and girls basketball, traditionally very profitable sports. Again, significantly impacted by COVID. The attendance levels for basketball, both boys and girls, were restricted at the sectional district, regional, and state levels. Attendance in boys basketball 156,592. Ticket revenue 1,656,000. Other revenues 62,240, and total expense 956,444 for a total profit of 762,244. Girls basketball attendance 101,993. Ticket revenue just over $1 million, $1,089,270. Other revenue 41,000. Total expense 815, and profit 315,000. Both boys and girls basketball state tournaments were held at the University of Dayton this year. They were great partners and really helped keep our expenses low over what we have typically had traditionally. Moving forward, they have also signed on as we move into the next 3 years. They will be our host for boys and girls basketball for the next 3 years. Ice hockey attendance was 7,826. Total ticket revenue 83,000. Total expense 87,000 for a small loss of 3,945. Bowling attendance 3,271. Ticket revenue 34,735. Other revenue 8,493, and total expenses 73,522 for a loss of 30,294. Gymnastics also very hampered by attendance at many of our sites. Very few tickets were available for fans $2,069, ticket revenue $22,310, other revenue $1,235, total expense $92,516 for unfortunately a loss of $68,971. Swimming and diving, 2,484 in attendance, 41,805. Other revenue 7,000. Total expense 260,380 for a loss of 211,445. And then wrestling, which again was held at 3 different sites. So thank you to the schools that hosted state wrestling. 24,780. Total ticket revenue 266,370, with expense of 525 and a loss of 247,855. So the total in winter was attendance just under 300,000 at 299. Ticket revenue 3,194,000. Other revenue 132,897. Total expense 2,811, and profit of 514,981. As we break down winter into the districts, sectional and district tournaments versus regional and state tournaments. Boys basketball was very successful for everyone in the time that we were up against. And then girls basketball, also profitable for most districts. Bowling, unfortunately, a loss across all areas. Gymnastics, ice hockey, swimming and diving, very expensive sport, for the total loss of 211,445, and then wrestling also was a loss of 247,855. Going down the districts, across the top, we have Central District total, a loss of 60,453. East, a profit of 42,458. Northeast, a loss of 102,132. Northwest, a profit of 184,607. Southeast, a profit of 79,625, and Southwest, a loss of 34,928. And at the regional state level, a profit of 405,805. Again, this is just winter results. Questions on winter, or we'll open it up.
Thanks, Laura. So we've had 3 questions come in. I'll group 2 together. First, they both came from Paul Powers up in Aurora. And Kim, I'm actually probably going to direct these to you. You might be better suited to answer them. He asks what our really kind of structure with Hometown Ticketing is in terms of our partnership, how much they made off of our tournaments. Why don't we necessarily develop our own ticketing platform? And then do we get any reimbursements for the work that we do with Hometown Ticketing?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm happy to answer that. I can't tell you the total amount that Hometown Ticketing made last year off the top of my head. That is not a number that I keep in my head at the moment. However, we do get something back from them. We get a bonus for having sold tickets across all sports through Hometown. And then we have just renegotiated a new contract with them where we will get money back for every 100,000 tickets that we sell. This year in COVID times, we will have sold about 1 million tickets by the time we get back through this spring season. So that will be a nice chunk of dollars that are coming back to the organization from Hometown. In terms of building our own platform would be incredibly difficult. It would take a lot of IT. It would take more than we have the capability of at this moment. We have looked at other ticketing options as we've gone out and looked before we renewed our contract with Hometown. And in all honesty, those ticketing options are much more expensive than Hometown is. So we have opted to stay with them for at least the next couple of years going forward. But we feel good about the deal that we have with them and about the work that they've been doing. They've been incredibly helpful during COVID. They've jumped in at every request that we've made. We've changed tickets at the last minute with them, and they've taken it on. And it's great that they're right here in Columbus, so we can really work with them. So we're happy with that arrangement at the moment. They are a business, so they will make some money. That's what they do. But that's okay. So that's our plan going forward. But yes, we do get some money back from them.
Thank you, Kim. Next two questions came from Andy Jalwan at Copley. His first question is with regard to expenses, and if you're able to provide any insight into what those expenses involve on the previous slides. And then additionally, he mentions that the Northeast District is the only district that had losses in volleyball and girls basketball specifically. So are we reviewing the financials with that district to discover why the losses existed there and how adjustments can be made so that they aren't the only district that made losses but can ultimately turn that to a profit?
Sure, thanks for the question. So the expenses typically are site rental fees and flat fees that are paid to those sites, typically schools. That's usually the largest expense. In addition, cost of officials, cost of tournament managers, coordinators, janitorial. Janitorial was, a little bit higher, quite a bit higher this year, in some cases, because of COVID. Security, some schools or cities require uniform security. But the biggest is the facility rental and the flat fees. As far as the district's performance, yes, we continue to dig in there and understand maybe what has driven some of those various district performances. Again, with the attendance protocols in place in the state and various schools adopting how they're going to address those protocols, attendance really is the driver in most cases as to why sports were not profitable at some of those district levels. Not all schools were willing to allow 15% of their max attendance in gyms, for example. Some were well below that. And we totally understand that. This is a very unique year.
Great. Thanks, Laura. So we actually do not have any additional questions, so I'll hand it back over to you to wrap up or move on to the next topic.
Okay, thank you. So each season going forward, we will put together very similar slides and analysis and have a presentation. So we would expect spring really won't wrap up until the end of June. By the time we get all the financial results on, we know that many of you will be in break. So the thinking is that we would probably present spring in the very beginning of August. And then as we close out fall, we're happy to share these again, whether it's in a presentation format or, depending on attendance and feedback, we may just put it in the administrator update that comes out on Fridays. But please do expect to see very similar slides after the end of each season. And again, thank you all for your hard work. We know this school year had many, many challenges, and we do appreciate all your work that you've done for us, and looking forward to brighter days in the 2021-22 school year.